Welcome to the Go Team Life Meaning of Life Christmas special. Now, the Go Team Life is a community gathering for the Game On community, and we meet, we chat, we discuss topics that interest us. We have a guest, and this week I actually managed to double book myself with my son's graduation. So we were to have Peter Sharp, not Peter Sharp, but Peter Sharp of the Liberators with us. But we did a quick change up, and Justin is hosting for this special Christmas event. Now, in the audience spot, we've got regulars Mandy and Kerry, and the session kicks off with this beautiful meditation from Mandy, who just off the top of her head manages to just capture the essence of what Christmas is in that challenging way. Like, it's so hard to be able to just get a through line of joy and happiness out of Christmas when there is so much heartbreak, challenge, financial strains, family dynamics, and just that expectation that we have that, this magical moment is about to happen, and, have you got everything ready? And, we never quite get to those lofty heights of the snow falling on Christmas Eve and the family coming together after adversity into this joyous, beautiful place. But what we do have is real talk, and that is where Game On thrives. It's people talking actual truths, not being the experts of anything in particular other than their own experience. And that is where we take the learnings. So I hope you enjoy this conversation and take something away. Not only does it start with this incredible meditation, but we get some realness out of our beautiful members. And there's nothing more I like than just real comments, real challenges, actually having to find a way to get our head around what our real situation is and what we're going to do to be able to create the life that we choose. Go Team Live is powered by Game On, and Game On is that opportunity we have to put daily journal entries into our world feed, our public feed, to be able to decipher and create our best day. Now, we start with gratitude, and gratitude is the fastest way to happiness. Then we move to answering awareness for how we're feeling, to be able to create that emotional intelligence and a better relationship with ourselves and others. Then we move to intention. And say, for example, if you're not feeling great, if things aren't going amazing for you, well, in intention setting, you can right the ship, create your own journey plan to be able to fit in the tough tasks that you need to get done, and maybe what emotions could help you if you were to be able to design your day with getting the tasks done with which emotions. That's how I like to journal, is being able to create my own day, and by doing so, my own life. There we go to mindful moment. And a mindful moment is one of those amazing abilities to be able to reduce stress and anxiety and find happiness in the simplicity of life. And then organizing non-doing. And in this busy time of year, just being able to switch off for 5 minutes is pretty hard pressed when you've got such a long list of things to do. But by doing so, you give yourself the energy and relaxation and rejuvenation you need to be level-headed and find place for joy in this silly season. So let's join the conversation, kicking off with Mandy's meditation, and then Justin takes us for a ride as we check in on what Christmas means to us.
So if you just want to close your eyes when you're ready, and just lean back and feel into your body. And I would love to take you on a journey through the snow today. So just get really comfortable. We are sitting on the back of a beautiful, beautiful, comfortable sledge in the middle of a snowy forest, and it's just going dark. There's lights all around, and we are all wrapped up in beautiful, warm blankets. And there's enough space between one person and another, and we're all feeling safe to go on a journey together. We have someone guiding us with the sledge through the beautiful winter forest in the European countryside, and we can hear how the snow is making soft sounds underneath us. And we can smell beautiful, beautiful mulled wine and cloves on the bottom of our feet, because someone might have spilled it earlier, and it makes us laugh because we just want to enjoy a beautiful night out that we feel safe. We can be ourselves, and we can also be within people and a community that we feel safe in, that we are seen and accepted, and people love us for who we are. They don't need to hear or understand our story, but they can appreciate all of what they see in front of them. And as we're going through the forest, we can hear the ringing of bells, and there's some reindeer galloping from one side to another that have been dressed up to make some Christmas sound. There's a few amongst us that have been alone for quite some time, and they hadn't believed that there was still any hope for them not having to celebrate Christmas by themselves, or to connect with people that understand them or would even notice them, let alone to care about them. So here we are today, sitting together on this beautiful sledge, and it doesn't matter what language you speak, it doesn't matter what country you're from, it doesn't matter what nationality you are, what color skin you have, what age you are. All of you is welcome here, and all of what you want to explore is awakening our curiosity, and we are going to go through the forest and one by one share a little bit about ourselves, what has brought us to this place today. On the one side, there are people sitting that haven't got anybody or feel that they don't. On the other side, there are people that have plenty around them, yet they still feel alone, although they have a lot of people around them. They are missing the deep and meaningful connection. And then there's people that are just intrigued by meeting new people and connecting in a way that they weren't brave enough to do so before. So on this journey that we are going here together today, it's a really small symbolism of what is possible in the world, what we can create together. But it's up to all of us to make the connection, to be open to new connections, to accept when people say, you're welcome in our circle, but also to respect when someone says, I prefer to be alone. And as we ride with that sledge through the forest, it suddenly starts to snow, and the snow kisses our heads, and we put our hoodies on to keep us warm. The sledge stops, and we stand still. Some of us get really uncomfortable, because stillness means to us there is no progress, and we have a real challenge in being, because we are so conditioned to produce, to achieve, to do. But here in this very moment, here we welcome you to try it out, what it is like to be, because with all those people sitting around you, all of you know that it's both required to be and to do, and it's up to us to master, to achieve a balance between the two. And as we go into that being space, we become more comfortable in just taking a deep breath and letting go everything that we carry, which was a lot of expectations people have put on us from the outside, and we accept it to be conditioned. But here I invite you to take the opportunity to just pick one thing. If you could pick just one word, one thing, one person, one expectation that you could let go of in this very moment. Hold onto that thought. And I now go around with a big bucket of snow, and each one of you can shape a snowball as big as you want inside your palm, and wrap that what you want to let go of in your palm. Hold on to it, and we're gonna start again our journey on this ledge, and we're gonna go to the top of the hill, and we're gonna throw that snowball into the wild and let go of that. And with that, take a deep breath in and let go of the snow and the snowball and that which held us back, and make room, just space to breathe. And we are slowly returning to where we began our journey today, and we slowly think about what it will be like when we open our eyes and look into each other's eyes, and a small humming of Christmas music turns in the background as we returning to where we began today. And all of us can feel a lot warmer, a lot more welcome, and hopefully a little bit more free inside of ourselves. And we are grateful for the gift we have given to each other today, to make each other feel safe, seen, accepted, not judged, and invited to repeat this idea in future in a similar way or alternatively, and share it with as many people we love to and care about. And in your own time, I invite you to come back to your seat, and I'm gonna come back from 7, and 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And whenever you're ready, I welcome you to the abundance of snow and looking at the sky with snowing in your imagination. Thank you for journeying together today.
That was cool. Well done.
Thank you for the opportunity. You're welcome.
No, that was really cool. I actually felt like, it took me back to, there was this one Christmas I had. I was at home. I was like 15 or 16, and I'd convinced everybody I didn't want to do anything. I did, but I convinced everybody I didn't want to do anything. And then when I was there on my own for Christmas, I was like, oh, this sucks. And it took me back there, but at the same time, looking at the fact I had the opportunity, though, to see these people, that's the feeling I got from that, which knowing that feeling is, it's an awesome feeling. But thank you. I liked the journey.
You're welcome.
Yeah. How do you find that, Kerry?
Yeah, great. I loved it. I loved the little journey. I especially like the little wrapping up what you want to let go of. And
Yeah. It also made me think so like obviously culture in Christmas is different as well, right? Like I've said this to my friends, almost everybody that I meet whenever it comes up Christmas, and it's like other countries have snow. I've never seen the snow, and it's like you grow up watching all the movies where Christmas is snow. And so part of me is kind of like, well, this isn't Christmas, you know? So I kind of grew up looking at Christmas like that a little bit in a way. But yeah, it made me think like, what was Christmas like when you were younger? Like when you were growing up and, you know, your environment, did you have a good experience with Christmas? Like,
For me, yeah, for me it was really beautiful. Like we had very traditional Christmas, and because I came over here when I was 22, I had like all my Christmases in Germany, and my parents in Germany wouldn't put up a Christmas tree until the night before the 24th. And we had these glass doors going into the sitting room, and my parents would put green, stretchy, um, what do you call it? Green, stretchy bed sheets there, so we couldn't peek through and see the presents. All we saw was the lights. And then,
yeah,
oh, what's gonna be on there? It's gonna be so exciting.
yeah,
But we also had from the 1st to the 24th of December, we would have an advent calendar, which is now everywhere out here, but it's more taking a commercial theme. My mom actually made them out of felt, and because I'm one of three, like my two brothers and me, we all had a different calendar every year. But
yeah,
one was like a tree, the next one was, I think, like a Christmas bag where all the presents would look like to be in, and the other one was the Santa Claus. And she would have little, you know how you used to get the little matches, like to light up candles and stuff? It was just like a little matchbox.
yeah,
And she would make 24 of them on each calendar, and she would put in each one of them presents, like obviously just little lollies and stuff like that. And every
yeah.
morning we push it out and we're going, wow, what's in here today? And then on the 6th of December, we would have St. Nicholas, and we would polish our boots and we put them in front of the door. And if you were a good kid and you listened to your parents, you would get like oranges and apples and nuts like walnuts. But if you were not listening, you would get coals and sticks
Is
and rocks.
this, sorry, is this like cultural as well, like in Germany, or is this
Yes,
like a
in
widely
Germany.
practice? Because I'm like, half of this stuff, I'm just like, what is Christmas?
Christmas was, we always had traditions like see, I'm from the UK, as you know, and although it always looks like it snows at Christmas, it actually doesn't
I
there.
always thought it did.
No, it's actually
Oh,
not very often.
really?
Yeah, I've probably had in my whole life, I've probably had 3 Christmases with snow.
Oh, so you're kind of like us then a little bit in Australia, where you're just like Americans have a lot of snow then. Like, but
In Canada, hey, they get proper snow.
so does it actually snow like much in England at all or not?
Not anymore. It used to be to the point where we would have drifts and we would be able to build igloos.
Seriously?
Yeah, it used to like drift up the house or up the garages, and then we would go and build igloos and great big snowmen. But as the years have gone on, not as much
Yeah.
now. You get like that much, and then it all goes to slush. So no, so we didn't. It's not true that we didn't get snow on Christmas.
Like,
Often, but
like,
we always had traditions like putting your stocking up, and my mum used to put a pillowcase
yeah,
on our bed
yeah,
before. And so we had our presents put in our bedrooms. They weren't under the tree because some people put them under the tree. Hey,
yeah.
nah, we always had pillowcases to get them into the room, and then I carried that on with my kids too over the years. It's like, no, I've got to put the presents in the room. So you'd
I
have
like that you question that as well. Like most of the time they go under the tree. Hey, like, it's like,
do that.
well, I mean, I found them under a bed once, like so. Yeah, I don't know if I was supposed to or not, but it was Christmas Day, and I just looked under the bed, and I was just like, "Oh, Santa got lazy." So
Did he actually wrap them?
they were wrapped. They were wrapped. Yeah, but uh,
What about you? What's your tradition?
me, it's always been when I was younger. It was I don't really remember it too much when I was younger. It was just sort of always family. Like I do remember it, but there wasn't. It was always sort of the same kind of thing. You'd spend the morning, you'd go to one house, and then you'd go to another house and another house. You'd have breakfast here, and then lunch here, and then another lunch there, and then another lunch somehow, and then dinner sort of thing. And by the end of it, you're driven around so much, and you're just exhausted. And when I finally got my license, and then I had to start driving, I was just like, "What the?" No, like I was like, It sucks. But at the same time, I do love going and seeing family, like if I get the chance. So I'll try to make use of that when family's together, but it's so spread out. It's, you know. But yeah, so that's like Christmas for me, honestly. It's going around seeing family and then not necessarily having to, see all of everyone you think you should either. Like I randomly will stop in and see random friends as well. So it's not like, it's just like a big social day for me. That's it, really.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful, though. Hey?
Yeah. And like, so I know that you said earlier, like, you're not looking forward really to having that sort of Christmas. Yeah. But like, what are you going to do with the time instead? Because obviously there's a lot of downtime in the outside aspect of, where Christmas is, December through to January. A lot of people still work. Do you plan on taking advantage of the time you do get?
Um, yeah, I'll do fun things. I'm just not looking forward to Christmas Day because I've had 23 years of traditions
Yeah.
and wrapping presents up over night time and putting them in the kids' bedrooms and I made my own traditions after I left my marriage. So I would get a box and put pajamas in and make chocolates, and we would
Yeah.
have Christmas Eve and have our Christmas dinner on Christmas Eve, and then obviously they would go to dad Christmas
Yeah.
Day. So I haven't got that this year, so it's going to be very strange. And yeah,
This is
I
the
don't
first year.
yeah, I don't really want to celebrate it. I'd be quite happy to go to bed on Christmas Eve and wake up on Boxing Day.
Yeah. Yeah. I can only imagine. But yeah. And I was talking to my mum earlier because I was kind of hoping she would come on as well. Because she just had twins, right, born on Christmas. And when she was in the hospital, obviously like a hospital on Christmas Day is, when you're going there and seeing all the different sorts of grief and trauma and things like that. When I had this little conversation on the phone earlier with my mum, she mentioned that, and it gave me this perspective on Christmas with even like trauma and everything. And this is going to be the first Christmas for me that we don't actually go to my great grandparents, right? Because last year was their last year, like on Earth, sort of thing. So for ever since I was like a baby, that's been a year by year by year by year by year thing where everyone would go there and see them and see everyone else. So it was like the family hub, and that's not there anymore either for me. So there is loss, I think, in Christmas time. There's always going to be change, and sometimes that's a fucking heavy change. And I was saying earlier, I was talking to myself before Mandy joined. I said I wouldn't wish, that on anybody. And at the same time, I would wish to be able to understand it so that I could, try to help, because how do you help with something like this, It's
And
like,
even the
well,
expense of it, like over the last 6 years, every time it got to Christmas, I couldn't afford Christmas, coming from financial abuse and that. And the stress and the pressure it puts on you as a
yeah.
parent, when all these kids are out there now getting mobile phones and laptops and
I can only imagine. I could hardly afford to get myself an iPhone. Like, it's like I could imagine being like, "You want one too?" Like, come
yeah, I
on.
know. And
Yeah,
getting gifts for them to open on Christmas Day, and they've got to be quite
cool.
substantial now, and just the worry, and you watch everyone fill their trolleys up and you're like okay, I can't actually afford this. It's just the people don't understand the pressure it puts on people at Christmas.
Well, it's interesting to say that as well, because I was driving down to the deli earlier, and on the radio, I was listening to Triple J, and they had this hacked segment for like so it's one of the I think it's not Beyond Blue, but one of the other helplines that people can call, right? And I was saying that there's a surge. There is the biggest surge to their phone lines, and even more than like last year with COVID and everything like that, because the financial stress at the moment for everyone is like heightened, and adding that on top of what is already normally a pretty stressful time of year is like a pretty bad mix. It's a pretty bad recipe. So, honestly, I wish there was something that could be done like now, just to like prevent that stress, that added extra stress that people are already feeling. And you're so right as well about like the anxiety and the stress of trying to meet the expectations of like people wanting stuff as well. And, and if it's kids or adults or this, and then having to try to maybe potentially defend why you didn't get someone anything, or, so there's a lot of emotion around Christmas, and it can stem to like a lot of different traumas. But, so my heart goes out to people who are going to be feeling a lot of extra stacked on trauma this year, especially to you, Kerry. My heart's going out for you. I'll be here if you do wake up on Christmas and you want a message. You'll get one from me, don't you worry. But provided you wake up, otherwise you're going to see it late.
I think we're going to help on there are places out there for people that are on their own. I think we're going to a centre on Christmas Eve to cook meals and serve meals for people. Give Community are doing a 10,000 meal drive at the moment to feed people that can't afford to feed themselves. So there is stuff out there. It's just I think sometimes it's hard to find that. Hey,
I was going to say, whereabouts do you go? I like, part of me just thinks walk into the city and ask someone in the city like where to go, but I'm like, no, that surely there's actual places and people know where these places are that you can go and contribute to, and it's not just a good Sammy's bin. It's like actually something that you can use your time with as well. So you said
I think it's at family centres like Joondalup Family Centre and things like that.
So there's a few of them.
Yeah.
So it's Joondalup, and we might have to look them up, and maybe I'll ask Peter if he can put some links to those in the podcast description, because I'm sure that they operate outside of Christmas as well. But yeah, the surge would be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, Mandy, have you got any insights into this? Like what you think maybe could help, or what sort of things people might be, unexpectedly or unprepared for going into Christmas this year? Sorry, before that, I did see one today, which made me laugh, but also really kind of annoyed me. And it was an email from real estate agents who were emailing out their tenants saying, don't forget it's Christmas, don't spend all your rent money on presents because we will evict you. And I was like, are you kidding me? That is nuts. And they had to backtrack and send a sorry note to everybody. I'm like, that's not on. So you don't need to add that as well to it, but
outrageous.
Some people's sense of humor is a little bit, you can't even say dark, or it's just a little bit cheap. But
sorry?
The sense of humor, that they have when people already feel stressed and concerned,
I think hopefully, I really hope that it was just an oversight for someone who doesn't know how to write, or they got ChatGPT to write something and didn't double check it. Like, because that's a pretty horrible human being. But back to the question, like what is your experience sort of today and with Christmas? What is your idea of what is Christmas spirit, sort of thing?
For me, it's more gathering of people. I'm not about presents, because I'm going, why would I pick a present? If you want a present, I understand there's birthdays, there's Easter. You can always make an occasion. But just because it's Christmas, I think we're losing the connection. Everyone wants to be independent, but at the same time, we're losing the connection. And if I was to create Christmas, I would say get rid of all the presents and create circles that you can connect with people that you really want to connect with, not to hold up any expectations, or it's my family and it would make mom happy this or dad happy this, or understand there are some expectations within family. I think it's more about community and connections, but also some people might want to be by themselves. Like for me, like we celebrate in Germany on the 24th, and we always had like 3 days of Christmas when I grew up. Like on the 24th, we would have lunch with the parents and grandparents. In the evening, we would have another gathering in family, and we get the presents. And
Yeah.
then on the 25th at lunch, we would be with my cousins and my uncle and auntie and my grandparents and our family. And we would all have like until lunchtime till dinner. We have a whole celebration. Then there would be like kind of 4 groups. Some people want to play board games. Others want to have a snooze and sleep. Others want to just chat, and others going outside for walks through the forest. So everyone got a little bit to tap into what they want.
Yeah.
And then I think the 26th, we would have then on Boxing Day, we would go to my dad's mom and we would have then lunch there, and we would eat a duck or whatever, and we would do bets. My dad says, if you eat all of that, I give you $50. I said, okay, then I'm going to eat the whole rest of the duck. And I'm going, oh, I think it's coming out of my ears. Yes. Nah, but now I think it's more about forget the presents. I mean, if you want something, by all means, ask for it. But
We
just
do
for
we do
say again?
this like Secret Santa thing,
Yes.
like with my grandparents. We'll pull out the hat and then we'll set a limit like of like just $20 or something sort of thing. We haven't done it this year or last year, but I always put a book, right? Like so I always put a book down that, but I don't put a title of a book. I always say a book that will do this or teach me this, or a book that
Oh,
is
nice.
about this, because then I know that if it's like, so I asked for a drawing book for cars once and I was like, I got a drawing book for animals. I'm like, they didn't look inside the book. So I was like, so they didn't look inside the book. That's my whole point of it, is like I'm trying to give them something while they're looking for books. Like me personally, I love going shopping in a bookstore and like reading through books. I could spend my whole day there just reading through books, deciding if I want to buy it or not. So like to me, like I like to send people on that for my Secret Santa. But we all get these like weird little things, and my granddad, he does this, he does it every year, but he tries to play it off like he doesn't. So then it's the surprise, and he just puts like, he'll get like, you know, the biggest box, the smallest box, whatever. It's a treasure hunt, right? It's a treasure hunt. So my auntie got a gift card once and it was wrapped up amongst receipt paper outside of the wrapping paper, so that when she was tearing it all off, she couldn't find it, but like she had unwrapped it and he could say, you've already unwrapped it. Like you've already got it. But it's you know, so there's that tradition sort of thing that we do these days. And we don't do it. I haven't done it in a while. And it's not out of like an expense thing or because anything's wrong, but it's just because, like, you know, traditions, they alter a little bit and they move around and whatnot. And I was thinking when you were saying, like, one of the things we haven't been able to touch on was like Christmas in religion is like, that's supposedly where this all sort of started, like, you know. And if you look at that, not saying I follow it completely or anything, but it's in a book. There's a chance some of it might be from somewhere that's, you know, makes sense. But if it's, you know, this birth thing of a miracle, then, you know, what's to say that Christmas Day isn't, you know, a calendar linked event, in that, you know, that's where everything new stems from each year, you know? It's like, what if that's the point of growth for the next coming around, the next turning? And it is always kind of hard, just like with any wave, you know, you have to ride a wave. And if Christmas is just like a vertical point, then that's going to be a sucky one. But when you get on the other side of it, the best things come from the biggest sucky things. So, but yeah, traditions definitely change. And I'm not too sure what my year's going to look like because of my altered tradition without seeing my great grandparents and more than half the family. Could be that I'm more excited to see them when I do see them and catch up with them, or it could be that, you know, they reach out and it's just a really awesome conversation. So who knows? But I'm looking forward to the new year more than I am Christmas. And I think, yeah, Christmas can always be a little bit more of what we wish it could be. I think that goes for anyone. Even as a child, you wish that your present is more of what it actually is, or or you might wish that, you know, there's more time or more places or more people or and so on. So I think, yeah, don't know where I was going with that. I was rambling. And see, I need Peter here to like bounce back with me, but Kerry, I wanted to throw it over to you and just ask about your ideas on Christmas spirit, you know, like what your look on it is from, I guess, in a historical sense, you know. Could you somehow, you know, what do you think about it?
That it's overrated.
The idea of the spirit,
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard, because it is meant to be a religious thing, but now, now we all question, well, did that happen? Like, is the Bible true? Like, was Jesus here? Wasn't he here? Like, was he born? Was he like it's I don't know, it's a hard one
yeah,
to fathom. Like,
it is.
why? Apparently he wasn't even born on the 25th, was he?
I honestly do not know.
Yeah, apparently they say that he wasn't actually born on the 25th.
I
We've been
I feel like I'm at risk now for saying that, but like we learned about it at school. We learned about it at school. Like I've read the Bible, like, but to me, it was all. I think to me, I was kind of like, if that's possible, why can't I not die? You know, like later down the track. So I was just like, okay, so if he's this, you know, so I always kind of looked at it like that, and I was like, if it is possible, then he knew some stuff, like, but, um, yeah, and
I think you just watch how, I guess, when you're on more of a spiritual path and then you watch what Christmas now represents. So Christmas now represents the materialistic world, doesn't it? Not the spiritual world, yet it came from the spiritual. So
exactly,
it was meant to be a spiritual occasion where we all get together and we celebrate, and now it's, you go to the supermarkets and you watch people filling their trolleys, like, and you're like, it's just a day, like, we're shut for one day. The shop's open again on Boxing Day, what are you doing?
yeah.
Like, and it's just like people go out having all these Christmas celebrations, spending thousands on parties and getting drunk, and then they're going out spending thousands on presents and thousands on food for one day.
Yeah.
So for me now, it kind of represents that materialistic world, which I'm not interested in. I don't
Yeah.
want to get drunk, I don't want big fancy presents, and I'd much rather get together with a bunch of people where you do, if it's family or friends, where you have that connection.
Yeah.
That's
Like
the
moments.
yeah.
Then that's Christmas spirit. I agree. I completely agree. And it does. Sorry?
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, I said to a client, a young girl, I had a client, a young girl, and she was going on about the fact that her friend had a phone as a present for Christmas, and she was feeling a bit hard done by. And I said, oh, so tell me what you remember from Christmas last year. And she was like, oh yeah, we all got together and we did this and we did that. I was like, oh great. And what present did you get last year? And she went, oh, I can't remember. And I was like, my point exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
you remember we've all just talked about traditions and what we remember from Christmas. Not one of us have said, oh, and that year we got these beautiful presents. Like, we don't remember the gifts anyway, do we?
I mean, I remember my books, but but that's about it. Yeah. I can think back to some crucial ones, and not necessarily because that I loved them, and some of them I really did, and I was really appreciative of and things. But sometimes, you just when you're a kid, I remember when I was a kid, and I still think about this and linger on this. And I was like, "There's no batteries in it," and I was like, you're a little prick, Justin. Hey, like I look back at I look back at myself and I'm just like, I know you didn't mean it that way, but like, you know. So, and when you were saying before, like when you go to the shop and see all these people like just rushing It's crazy, and it is such a materialistic thing now. And then, as Mandy said earlier, it's like, it's been transitioned in here. And then, like as you were saying before, it was giving me this vibe of like Christmas has become toxified, like as a just another day that you can give presents to, like you said, Mandy. So it's kind of you can pick a day, but yeah, I think a lot of people in this coming like this, I guess, community of people, this like-minded souls, these gatherings of people who are slowly waking up and becoming aware of things. I think they're gonna, and hopefully we all will start celebrating Christmas more of a spiritual aspect, like how it was, rather than. I mean, it would be great if we could celebrate Christmas like that, on that spiritual level, but still have the perks of not having to go into work for the same periods of time. That would be great because it's the same thing, and if people aren't buying stuff, then they wouldn't have to work anyway. So, so it makes sense to me. I think we've started developing a framework here, guys.
It's very good. Yes. Because then you go out and buy. You spend time buying stuff. First of all, you don't know what they want, then you buy it, and then they don't like it. So you're just feeding something, that, oh yeah, I tick that off, but will they like it? And then you go back and exchange it. But it's not the same as creating an experience together or have a shared time together. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Eden said to me, Mom, can we make Christmas biscuits this year? And I'm going, oh yeah, let's do that, So then we did, and we put all the flour and this, and that's what I remember from my grandparents, when I did with my granny, I would roll out, and then we cut out the biscuits, and you put the icing on. And then the other one, she had a different recipe. You have to actually roll them, and you put them in the fridge. In Germany, you just put them on the window ledge, and it's cold enough for it to get cold. And then you just cut them. So that's the stuff that you remember, And then he said, "Oh, Mom, let's put up the Christmas tree." I said,
Why are
"Oh,
you talking about me?
oh, because I am sharing a Christmas tradition." Did you want to say something about a Christmas tradition, Eden? You're supposed to be in bed. Yeah, and so then we set up the Christmas tree. And for me, I don't need a Christmas tree, but I'm glad that Eden said, I want a Christmas tree,
Yeah,
It's
you
not that
need
we
one.
have it, but he would rather have a real Christmas tree because he wants the smell of pine. He says, Mom, this is not a Christmas tree, but I said it lights up and I love it.
I mean, I would agree on that point. If like that goes back to my whole snow thing, right? Like I want one of them trees as well. Like it's got to be the movie. Like
yes, of course.
yeah, if I can walk out of my house because there's no snow in front of my door, to me, I don't think that's what Christmas is. I need a that's it, You need to
And
be
that makes
stuck
it a
in the
little bit more
cabin,
tricky.
stuck in the cabin.
Can you
Sorry?
get real trees in Australia? Do you get real Christmas trees in Australia? Can you?
Yeah.
You can.
Like, you're both so old.
I would. They have
like, I
little
don't know.
farms, little Christmas farms, and every year they put like pink tags on. We used to go to a farm in Forestfield, but they have one probably up north too, but down near Rockingham. And yeah, then I put it in my car, and half of it is hanging out. It's probably not good to drive like that, but and then I come home and I put it in the bucket, and it's hitting the roof, so then I have to trim it, which is not really good to trim it on the top. And then I try to put some bricks into the bucket so it doesn't lose balance. In the morning I wake up and there's all the water on the floor, and I'm going, oh, maybe it didn't work out quite that well. But yes, but in Germany we would just go and drive into the forest. My parents would have the motorbike or motorcycle and the trailer, and they just go with the saw into the forest, they chop a tree down, come back home, and then they try to put it into a little tree stand and then decorate it. And when we were little, they still had these, I don't know what you call it, but it was like little coaster things. They clipped them on the tree, and we had real paraffin candles they put on the tree, so you have to watch out that they don't catch fire.
Yeah, that's like a fire hazard.
Like
if I've ever heard one like that.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man.
Yeah, you're gonna wake up and Santa's gonna continue to go down.
That's right.
I did.
Yeah, and then you have decorations.
I do have this. There was one when I was younger. Me and my brother camped out in the backyard in a tent, and we woke up early, and then we tried to like go into the house and we were locked outside for a couple of so yeah, so I've like kind of I learned from that. I learned a lot from that. I was kind of just like, right, I see. I need a key. I need a spare key of my own. You know, I was a witty kid. But yeah, no, there's plenty of traditions and experiences I think a lot of people can look back on with Christmas and find joy in the memories of.
That's what I used to love in the UK, because we would have the same. We'd go to the forest and there'd be trees chopped down. But I think my ex-husband used to hate it because it would take me hours to find the perfect Christmas tree. I would literally like, you have to stand it up, turn it around, turn it that way. No, that one's no good. Next, what about this one? Oh no, it's a bit bare there. No, literally it took, and sometimes we would leave that place and go to another place just to find the perfect tree.
That is describing me picking out a book. If it's, I'll be there looking at it. That word's not, I don't like that sentence, and then I'll leave Dimmicks and I'll go to QBD instead. Like, and then like, but wow. So wait, you used to, so you could actually go out and do that in the UK. Like, could you chop your own trees, or is that what you were saying? You chop your own, or
No, they were pre-chopped,
okay,
but you could pick them up
yeah,
and like look at it, put it back down.
yeah.
Yeah,
love
there
to
is
chop.
places you can go.
No, I wouldn't want to chop a tree. I'd feel too
No,
bad for it.
Jacob, but they smell great. Have you ever had one, Justin? You ever had a real tree in your house?
I don't know. It's not a memory I can access, so I'm not too sure. I know I remember like my auntie had like this really cool white tree, and it was like one of those like white plasticky ones, and I always thought that looked really cool, but we just had like this one that you can fold up and put in a box, and then you just take it out and everything like that. And we carried it with us for like years. Like we moved through that many different houses, and we kept moving it all around. And then I think when I moved from my last house, like I just don't know where it went from there, to be honest with you. But
I
I've
think
never
you should
had
put that on your hit list that one year you have to go and get yourself a real tree.
I'll put it on my list right now.
Put it on your list just so you can experience the smell, because the smell is amazing. It does, like, it makes it's different here because it's hot. In the UK we had radiators and fires, and so it was cozy.
Yeah, it's almost like I
it went
can imagine
like
it.
4 o'clock in the afternoon, it would be dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like
So,
I smelt it. Like I've been in places where they have setups and things like that. But I think if I could have that in my house and just like, yeah, I think that would smell like also, I reckon that'd be really cool. I haven't got a single light set up or anything at the moment. And then Mandy, the candles hanging off the trees on fire. I saw smoke.
I wanted to show you something because you're talking about the trees.
It's on the list.
So my parents sent me those incense cones, and they are like
oh, they're little gnomes.
So it's what do you call it in English? Pine tree coins. So it's like this, like you know how I get the incense cone?
Yeah.
In Germany we have lots of traditions. So we have this little holder here. Hopefully I won't burn my carpet, but let's just try. And then we'll have the
oh no way.
And then the snowman is smoking. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Smoking through here.
Oh, that's
Carrie,
cool.
do you know them from the UK?
We didn't have them. No.
No? Yeah, so we have plenty of them. So they would stand around in the house, and then they had one that was like a teacher, and this is the snowman. And there's all these different figurines. And all you do is you just put the incense cone in here, and they smoke. And then the whole house smells like whatever the incense cone is. So this one is pine. And so it's like a snowman.
If I can't find a real tree.
There you go, Justin. Just go and get yourself a.
I'd rather get a real tree, but it was.
You can also go to Bunnings. Someone said the other day they're selling the ones at Bunnings, but they are in a pot, which is not the same.
No.
You know? But there's Christmas tree farms around. I'm sure there's some in Wangara or Nangara up that way. If you're down that way,
Who
Justin?
knows? There was a big fire recently there, so
Oh yeah, so maybe that could be a
that
challenge.
there you go. There's another thing. There's,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
bad. There's
So many things. And then even the decoration, like we have them ones, it's like little handmade stars, Christmas decorations that we put on the tree.
Have you ever been to, or have you ever heard of there's a little suburb or a town in Adelaide. Man,
Andorf?
yeah, that's it.
No, I've never been. I've never been to Adelaide and I've never been to Handor.
I went there
Love
once.
to
And
go.
it's like,
You've
is this
been
what?
there?
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, so it's supposed to be like, supposedly it's supposed to be a German town in the middle of Australia, sort of thing. Like it's all, yeah. So, but the thing is, I don't know if it's accurate. I don't know if it's culturally accurate. There was chocolate everywhere, but like I don't know if that's
Oh,
okay.
I need to show you something else. Hang on.
Okay. Oh, this is great.
So where's this little German town?
It's in Adelaide.
Oh, it's in Adelaide. Oh,
Yeah, I went there once for work, and it was like an hour's drive out of Adelaide, and we just went there for the day just to see it. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. I was like, yeah. So now whenever like I talk about Germany, I'm like, there's a place in Adelaide.
it's just like it.
Yeah, I really liked it. It's cool. I'd definitely go there again just so I could spend more time there and actually explore it. But yeah. What
So
have you
my
got for
granny,
me?
my granny gave us this tin and it had lots of gingerbread in them. And you have on the bottom, it's like I don't know what you call it.
Oh, like a little carousel thing.
Is that what they call? Oh, I think I dropped it one too many times and now it doesn't sing properly anymore. So it would play the Christmas song, but it would have biscuits or gingerbread in here. And today Eden and me went to Coles and they had these ones there. Gingerbread shapes.
Okay. Okay.
And so they are like this is a love heart here. It's just like chocolate and inside it's like gingerbread. And when you have it with a tea or with a coffee, it's so beautiful.
I do like Christmas food. Like over here, it's like seafood or just different salads and lunches and just everything everywhere. It's all different, you know. And yeah, what was it like in the UK? Like, was it, I don't know, Christmas dinners?
Very, yeah, very traditional. So you would get up, have breakfast, open your presents, and then it was go, 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 get the turkey on. So
Oh, really? It's turkey. I've never had a turkey either.
What? Put that on your list, Justin. Turkey and cranberry sauce. Yeah, so you'd start cooking the turkey like first thing in the morning because it would take, I don't know, like 5 or 6 hours to cook this turkey.
Jeez.
And then with all your parsnips and roast potatoes, and some people do ham, and yeah, then you would have Christmas pudding or mince pies, and then you would watch the Queen's speech at 3 o'clock. So the Queen does a speech at 3 o'clock, so you would sit and watch the Queen's speech. And then that was pretty much Christmas Day done, because it's dark and you might have a bit of salad, or you would have turkey and pickled onion sandwiches for tea. We called it dinner and tea. So dinner was lunch. Yeah, and that was traditional British Christmas Day. And that's why I love it in Australia, because I love the fact you guys get up and you go to the beach and have breakfast, and then you lay on the beach for a few hours, then you go home and you do dinner, and it's still light, isn't it, by 7 o'clock? So it's like it's almost like you've got a longer day here.
Yeah,
that's how it feels.
I could see that. I can definitely imagine that scenario. There were a couple of Christmases that we had here, like where my family were all into four-wheel driving at one point. So like each family member had their own four-wheel drive, and we would all go to like Lancelin, and I love Lancelin. I used to love it there, like sandboarding. It's as close as you get to snowboarding. But we went there on Christmas, and we stayed there, and it was awesome. We woke up there like in tents and stuff and spent the night there. And then halfway through the day, like we came back home, and yeah, like you're right. It's like, I think a lot of the sort of people I think today growing up, you know, in Australia, I don't know, maybe everyone's on their phones too much, or who knows, but I'd be curious to know how many people go out camping on Christmas, you know, like, because like, you know, that to me that was like one of my favorite ones. Was like waking up on the beach. That was pretty cool, and fishing all night before and stuff like that. So
See, that's cool. Maybe we should start a new Christmas tradition, and we should just do that each Christmas now. Just go to a beach and camp.
that would be awesome. Like, I would love to. I said to my dad earlier, like, the next car I'm getting is a 4-drive because I'm sick of not being able to just go and explore again, you know. And I've been too trapped inside. And this is like my only social event these days. Like, apart from when I go out to do odd jobs and things. But yeah, it would be really cool to get a 4-drive, go out camping, and then like fish before Christmas, and then, you know, cook the fish over the fire. That'd be sick. That'd be cool. Maybe we should start a new tradition. Spirit and
Oh,
mind.
we should do like a podcast get together.
Oh, legit.
We should, shouldn't we? We should just like do a meet up on a beach and fish. Or, not that I can fish, but
I'm wondering.
that would be so fun.
That would be sick. Yeah, actually, maybe
Yeah.
I'll look into doing this. We'll be like, Peter,
What do you say?
we're going camping. Nah.
Yeah, put that on the list.
All right, it'll go on the list. Snow's still up there though, so you know I'm gonna have to. I don't know if I should reorder this list or not, or if I should just aim high because snow's got to go there.
Gotta go snow. That's like a no-negotiable.
Well, when you said igloo before, I was just like, that's right there. And I was like, if I could build an igloo, that is like my entire childhood is like complete. If after I've built an igloo.
You've never even had a snowball fight then?
I've scraped the freezer and thrown that at my brother. Does that count? There wasn't enough for him to throw one back though, so it wasn't really like a fight.
It's one-sided.
I won it.
Yeah, you gotta go do snowball fighting and making the biggest snowman you possibly can.
Yeah, that's definitely that is all definitely on the list. You know, the snow angels, the whole lot, the whole, you know, that part of the inner child me needs that to happen at some point still. So I don't think I'll be completely grown up until that happens. So we'll
And
see.
hot chocolate as well. Well, it's drinking hot chocolate while the snow comes down and you're actually in it.
I wish I was there now. That sounds so cool. I'd put a marshmallow in it.
There's snow in Germany right now. Go now. They have so much already.
Yeah.
It's so quick this year, so early.
Ah,
It's like, wow, they had it at the beginning of December already. And I'm going, wow. And in Germany, do you have it in the UK as well, Carrie, where they have the Christmas markets, or is it not throughout the UK?
yeah, I think they do have Christmas markets.
Because that's another traditional thing where you just have one stall after the other, and you get more drunk with each stand of glühwein or mulled wine. I just saw this. I had this in my cupboard. Like, this is just from one of the markets. I brought it back to Australia just to remember one year. I don't even know what, 2018, when I was there, just to walk around and have a drink, and you can buy warm clothes because it gets so cold. You forget. It's like amazing, but so beautiful.
It is
Then,
beautiful.
like you say, Carrie, once the snow, when it falls, you're going, oh my God. Like when we were little and it wouldn't have snowed and it was Christmas morning, and then we would go to church at 3 PM. Everyone sings, and all of a sudden you come out and it starts to snow. You go, oh my God, I think it's a fairy tale. It's like, wow, where did that just, that's the best. Oh, that's so cool. Even if it doesn't last, but it's just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm part of this. This is so magical.
It is
It's
magical.
You feel like 5. Oh, so cool.
It's so cold, and you forget, don't you? Because it doesn't
Yeah.
last. It all goes to sludge, and then it creates so many problems on the roads, and
Yes,
it's
on the road, yes.
freezing cold, but it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd want to experience all of that though as well. Like the sludge on the road, I'd like be like, I'd I'd have a field day with all of that stuff.
You'd just be kicking it, wouldn't you, Justin? Just like,
I would,
woo!
yeah. I'd be jumping in. I'd probably get like a lot of warnings from people about stuff. I'm sure, just be like, "Oh, don't jump in that. That's gross. That's shit." Blah blah, whatever. But like, that would be me. I think that's where I'd like let loose and really have a good time. And then I don't know if I'd wear a jumper or if I'd just be like, I would like to think that I wouldn't need one, but I probably would, wouldn't I?
You would need a jumper, a coat, a hat, a scarf, gloves. Yeah.
All of it, really?
And some really warm shoes.
Yes.
'Cause
Boots.
once you're cold, you're cold.
But then I'm never gonna like use that in Australia, right? Like, so would I? Is it worth keeping? Is that stuff expensive? I imagine it would be. Hey, like
Oh,
all
you
big
could-
you
fluffy
could-
jackets and coats and things and big boots and.
You could
Yeah.
borrow it if you have some good mates there or
I'm
here.
just gonna put a big exclaimer on my list so that I know I've got to save extra money for that.
Extra money for coats and jumpers and hats and scarves, and you'd need them. Your hands would go blue.
I'm the type
literally.
of person who would literally just rock out there being like, let's see some snow, and I'd be wearing what I'm wearing. And I wouldn't have thought that far ahead. And then I'd deal with it once I'm there, you know? It's like,
You'd be like, they didn't tell me it was so cold.
like they did, but yeah, no.
It's hard to imagine when you have 35 degrees out here, right? You're going, oh no, I'll be fine. And then you go, oh my God, that feels a little colder.
It did.
I still find that strange now because I've grown up with traditional Christmas. I still find it strange walking in shops and seeing Christmas decorations next to bikinis. It's just not right. It's
It's not.
not right.
It's what was it like in the UK then with that? They had it all in like just everything, or it has yeah.
Well, you wouldn't have bikinis in December. Like,
Oh right, yeah, fair enough. That was
that-
a sight. Yeah, geez.
you don't sell bikinis in winter in the UK. Like,
Not
it's
necessarily
all
so.
coats and jumpers and hats and scarves. Whereas here, you've got all your summer clothes next to the Christmas trees. So it never feels right.
Yeah, that's. I've got
Even though I
to
prefer
think
Christmas
about-
here, I do prefer Christmas here, but it's still just bizarre.
Yeah, I think it must be kind of cool that you don't have to feel trapped, you know, in like that sort of weather, I guess, you know, like you can go for a walk to the park because most of the time it's a really hot day on Christmas. But like it's a day enough to get out at least, and you're not trapped inside or anything like that, or you know, you're not prevented from doing anything because you're too cold, I guess.
Yeah.
But then again, you can't snowboard or throw snow or have snowball fights or build snowmen or any of that stuff either. So
You know what
Oh.
else is here? We used to, when we were younger, we used to go Christmas carol singing. I've never seen any Christmas carol singers in Australia since I've been here. We used to literally, I don't know if you were like this, Mandy, in Germany, we would go door to door and we would sing Christmas carols and we would get given money for
I
singing.
thought that was just movies.
Nope.
I've seen them at parks. Like I used to go to the park, like, and there would be people all singing together in like a big, massive group of people and stuff. But I've never actually seen anyone walking around doing it.
We did, yeah. And we got paid. You got good money for Christmas carols.
But like,
Wow.
was it like you would just rock up, start singing, and be like, "Now you owe me money," or like, or was it like?
You knock the door and you just start singing, and then they would either open the door or not. And they
Right.
would open the door, listen to you, and then they'd give you some money. It was a right money making scheme.
A scheme.
Now, I don't know
Yeah.
that from Germany. I know the concerts, like you know how they have here, like on the weekends, and they all gather and they have it on stage, and people can sing along if they want to.
Yeah.
But I don't have the door to door in Germany. I don't recall that.
Something to put on your bucket list then, man.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's cool.
I don't think I could be a part of starting that one. I'd love to, but I'd be like way too anxiety ridden to be able to just start singing at someone's door. Also, when it's not a common thing, like if you could imagine a group of like 4 dudes or whatever in Australia walking to some random person's door, knocking on it, and then them just start singing and be like, "Hey, but like they'd be like, get the fuck out!" Like it would be a sight for sure.
Can I film it? I'll follow you
Yeah,
around.
sure. You know what? Maybe that can be Peter's next video. He did the laughing on the train one. I'm sure he could make this work.
Good. We should organise group carol singing and just see what happens.
Oh, that
Wow.
would be great. I've got a list. Hey, I've really got a list.
Very good night for brainstorming here. It's the ideas team.
I know.
Wow.
These are all good
Next year is
things.
going to be so much fun.
I really do love the idea of being able to go camping on Christmas. I think I'm gonna try and make that my goal for next Christmas. I want to be in a position where I can go out with whoever I want and just take a full drive out and go camping, take my dog, and just like whoever wants to come and like have a conversation, you know, just be it. That'd be sick. That'd be awesome. I think
Great.
that's what I'll try to organize mine around next year for sure. This year's too close. I've already been like, yeah, I'll come there. Yeah, I'll go there. Yes, no dramas.
You know what I like about Australia? That on the 25th, all the shops are closed. And I love the peace.
Not
I'm like,
anymore.
no, it's not?
Most of them still are, but I remember I was really hungry. I went to McDonald's once. I'm like, they're not open though. And then I was like, they're open. McDonald's are open. And some kid was
Wow.
working. I'm just like, dude, I really hope you're getting paid a shitload to be here. Like, because you know, to be a kid working on Christmas, that was like, no, that's like those UK movies, like when they're pushing the kids in the chimneys. Like, no.
Pushing the kids in the chimney.
Yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it? I'm sure it
But
was.
not on Christmas Day, I don't think.
Yeah, but oh yeah, fair enough.
Maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe you did need your chimney sweeping on Christmas Day. I don't know.
Yes.
Wow.
Anyway, I'll close it down for Peter and for if you guys want to head off. But if you want to stick around and have a chat about anything that's not Christmas related or still Christmas related or whatever, yeah, I'm gonna let Peter do a proper outro. So I will see you guys later.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us for the Go Team Life Meaning of Life Christmas special. And I hope you got some sprinkles of magic dust from, you know, the real speak that we have in the Go Team Live community. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be able to hold this space. And to miss it was a bit of a sore point for me. I'd love to have helped out the team and answer some of the questions and maybe bump in a couple of facts that I may have about, you know, Christmas traditions and my own traditions and, you know, why we put Christmas trees in our homes and, you know, why it is that, you know, religious side comes in and where we pull that information from. Such is, you know, that understanding that, you know, we do put Christmas trees in our homes because throughout the winter, back in the day when they were locked in their homes, when the snowstorms come in and they, you know, don't have a lot of ability to get out and about, that the bringing the tree in the middle of winter, you know, helps with the smell and helps make the place smell fresh when it may have smelled a bit dank from all those bodies unshowered. And then the Christmas having, you know, Jesus supposedly born on Christmas Day, when, you know, most of the Christian religion has been, you know, borrowed from other traditions that were previous to the Christianity. And when they say Jesus was born, it was really when the sun comes back from, you know, that dead of winter. So it is the sun, as in the sun in the sky, being born again, because it comes and starts that journey towards summer. So if you get through winter and you're stanky family and you've stuck a Christmas or a tree in your house so you can, you know, deal with the stank and then you feel like the sun is returning back to summer, then you have an opportunity to live another year of joy and happiness and Thanksgiving for, you know, the family that are around and the joy that they bring and the services they provide. So I hope that you all enjoy your families, and whatever the case may be, if you're on your own, there's a small group of you, you know, my heart goes out to all of you who have lost people through the year, because, you know, for me, Christmas has taken stock on, you know, what the year has brought, you know, and who's still here. You know, it's like a roll call for me when we come into my family's Christmas and just see, you know, who in the family is still with us. And that's very real. So, yeah, be sure to tell people you love them. Be sure to be grateful for people sitting at the table. And each year is a bonus. And I thank you very much for joining us. And I hope we can see you again in the new year. We do have one more community gathering for the year next week with Stefan Testi, and I'm super excited to be, you know, interviewing Stefan. He's a man of many talents, a beautiful mind on him to be able to articulate what it is that he does and why he does it. So I look forward to seeing you there. Until then, love your work. Go team.